Hi, this is Dabboo Ratnani and catch the exclusive of my 2015 calendar exclusively on Bollywood Hungama.
Well, it's that time of the year when we have the learning experience of the beginning of the year, and we have with us Dabboo Ratnani, the enterprising photographer, and his calendar is out. And the entire year we tend to just carry the tips that we get from Dabboo and his experiences. They are a learning experience in its own right as well. Wonderful to have you back on Bollywood Hungama, first of all, Dabboo. And apparently you guys caused a riot at Olive last night, and everyone was scrambling to just have a look at your pictures. So how was the experience last night?
It was amazing. I think it's the calendar launch keeps getting better and better year by year, and so does my calendar, I'm hoping. The whole reaction that I've got last night for my calendar has been tremendous. I mean, it's like every time people come and say, this is your best calendar, this is your best calendar. So which is great, because that's why I do this calendar, to keep outdoing what I've done in the last 15 years, to kind of push it to the next level, keep myself excited about outdoing my previous work, so I think that's what keeps the calendar kind of growing, and keeps it more and more exciting for me, so that now, suppose I've shot 14 times with Mr. Bachchan. This was so then I have to say, okay, now the 15th time when I shoot with him, how do I make him look different from the last 14 shots that I've done? So it becomes, and these actors do so many other photo shoots, so you have to keep watching that what kind of zone they've never been captured in, so I think overall, I think it's very exciting, and I like to get the reaction of people at the event, because that's your live on your face. You can figure out what they like, what they don't like, what people are enjoying, and what is appealing to them. So it's been interesting, to gather reactions. So I got a very good and positive reaction to the whole calendar yesterday.
And Shah Rukh Khan always makes sure that he's present to be a part of your
really
calendar
grateful,
launch. So that's like a really special relationship.
Yeah, it's like a lucky charm, Shah Rukh being there, so the calendar launch gets completed, unless obviously when he's out of the country.
Right.
Sometimes it's happened where he's been shooting in January, where he's from his New Year break straight he goes to a location, so then those years he's obviously can't make it, but the other times he's always here for me. I mean, and I'm always here for him as well.
Right. You're having 3 new faces in your calendar: Ranveer Singh, Shraddha Kapoor and Jacqueline Fernandez. But at the same time, many of Salman Khan fans will be just having this question, that why is Salman Khan not featuring in your calendar, considering that you've shared I think the longest relationship in the industry with Salman and his family.
It's true. Salman was extremely busy in November, December, and and traveling a lot, and then he was shooting for his new film, then he was shooting Big Boss, and in the midst of too many things, so we couldn't align a date. And I'm hoping these same Salman fans tell Salman to be a part of the calendar next year, so I can shoot him a little early, so I think I'm going to start shooting earlier next year, so I make sure people like Salman and Katrina are featured again in the next year. This year both of them were extremely tied up, both were traveling and hectic schedules, so unfortunately those 2 shoots didn't happen. Rather than just putting a stock image that I have shot earlier of an actor, I rather do something fresh and something creative, rather than just using a simple picture in the calendar just to have a name. So I mean, Salman's huge. I know I'm missing out on having a Salman, but when I look at the picture for Jan to Feb, it will be okay. But when I look and I think, then I say, what is the creativity in that picture when I'm just using a close-up which is out of my archives, So for me, it is about creativity. It's about the calendar looking exciting year after year, and also making an impact. And when people receive it, they talk about the picture. I mean, in most cases, this is my 16th edition, in the last 15 years that I've seen, when I've sent the calendar, if it's a simple picture, people talk that why this picture. They don't talk about which actor it is. They talk about why this picture is so simple. Whoever the actor may be, a newcomer or a superstar. Why this picture is so simple. And then on the other hand, even if it's a newcomer or a big star and the picture is interesting, not considering Bollywood position of who's number one and who's not number one. Basically, people talk about the photography in my case, and they all know that I have a great rapport with all the actors, including Salman and including all the other actors who I work with. So it's not that I'm trying to prove that I know Salman and I'm putting in my calendar. I want to be happy creatively, and I'll make sure that I do a creative shot with him and then feature him in the next year's calendar.
If we just take a few pictures from your 2015 calendar, and if we can briefly just talk about them. Aishwarya, the first thing that just comes to my mind is obviously I think that the eyes, but you've taken like a black and white tinge to it, and she's got beautiful eyes with a very distinct color to it.
Right.
So why did you opt for a black and white shade?
So I've shot with Ash so many times,
Right.
and so many magazine shoots and everything, which are always color. 90% of Aishwarya's pictures that I've done, which have appeared everywhere, including my last 2 calendar shots, have all been color. So I thought, why not give it a variation, and rather than going color and soft and all, little go high contrast and go dramatic with the black and white tone, and honestly, she was wearing black, she was wearing a silver belt, everything was all monotone over there except for the eyes and the skin, so I said that let's just go make everything like really high contrast and make it black and white, so I felt that it worked as a picture, in black and white more. We should always shoot in color and then decide, okay, what kind of tone is looking better just before we go into printing, So we always have the option for color, but I don't know, somehow this year's calendar has quite a number of black and white pictures. It's funny, but I was thinking about it this morning, and I was like, full last year I worn a lot of colorful shirts, like clothes, and suddenly in the last 2 months I've been wearing more blacks for some strange reason, I don't know why. It's just that I look at those colorful bright shirts and I say, no, I'm not in the frame of mind to wear this right now.
Right.
So I think a lot of your personal style and your personal aesthetics reflect in your pictures. I think creative people go through phases,
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I feel that it's just a phase of black and white at this point.
Fantastic. If I'm looking from a fan perspective as well, obviously you have your relationship and you have your certain eye for choosing your subjects, but considering Aishwarya is now having Karan Johar's film with Anushka and Ranbir, and she's having Jazba as well, and she's not had I think she had not been doing any movies for some time now. Somewhere feel that a picture of a celebrity who's having some interesting projects coming up after a bit of a span of time, it also creates like an interest value around the celebrity.
I'll be honest, Ash has not been doing movies in the last couple of years, but I never stopped putting her in my calendar.
Right.
For me, a relation.
I'm saying from a fan perspective.
Like I said, I make it more for my creative satisfaction. So
Right.
today, like I said, now Bollywood position or a popularity in terms of what the fans, are really. Today, for example, I'll tell you now. People got to know the list of people once they saw the teaser on my page, and they knew the list of 24 actors. So rather than saying, oh wow, these are the newcomers, I got reactions that why no Salman, why no this one, why no Sonam, why no Katrina. That's the kind of questions I get asked. They don't appreciate that I'm adding new people, or I've changed the list, or John's back in the calendar, or I variated the list slightly, but it's just that I guess the people who are following me, fans of these actors who I've been featuring, so suddenly if 1 or 2 actors are not there, they're not ready for that kind of change. Ranveer has been in the industry 3 or 4 years, and this is the first year Ranveer and me could actually align a date and do the shoot. Ranveer fans are very, very happy, so suddenly I've seen a lot of followers of mine on my timelines becoming more Ranveer fans, so suddenly I think so there are trends, and I mean I wish there were more than 12 months that I could feature more than 24 actors, I'm happy to do that, but now how does one handle that?
And now the second picture is, if you can shift to Alia Bhatt. Now Alia's had, I think, a phenomenal year in 2014, and now it's a very interesting picture with just water dripping from her head.
Yeah.
Definitely makes for a very captivating look. Many would say that it's a wonderful idea, but why has no one thought about it?
That's what I mean. Today, when we do even close-up pictures for a calendar, we think about some kind of detail that we can add to it. When it's a tight close-up, there's some element, maybe the eye makeup, maybe the lip makeup, maybe element like water or something dramatic, where I've shot Kajol also this year, which is a tight close-up. But we've gone really dark. She's wearing dark clothes. She's wearing dark makeup, dark eyes, and hair is pushed back. So it's just a very strong close-up of her face with very high contrast black and white kind of a tint to it. You know. So I think when we conceptualize pictures, we try to vary it as much as possible. And I'll be very honest, Alia also came up with this idea. It was not only my thought process, you know. So when I speak to actors, I like to get some feedback from them about the concept. So every time I think of some ideas, I say, okay, I've got these 3-4 ideas. Whatever appeals to them the most, I like to, because then, you know, they'll be more excited to do that particular shot, because
Absolutely.
that's something that, you know, for them also, they're not getting anything except creative satisfaction from this calendar. It's completely non-commercial. I keep saying that, you know.
Sure.
So it's finally some kind of they feel more connected, you know, when they can associate, when they connect to the, when they can relate to the concept, you know.
Absolutely.
So Alia came up, said, should we try something with water? And said, okay, let's try this. And then we brainstorm and we kind of speak about it, and then she said, will it work out? Will it water be blurry? So I said, no, I'll shoot it. So for this particular shot, you have to use a particular kind of lighting,
and
certain kind of, yeah, basically lights and fast lenses is what you require for this kind of, kind of a water to freeze the water. It almost looks like ice in certain areas.
A very interesting makeup with the kajal, as well as the lips are extremely red.
Lips, yeah.
So they just
pop through
standing out.
the water. Yeah,
so the makeup was done by her, like, or
the makeup was done by Subbu. He's a fantastic makeup and hair person, and so, you know, it was his idea as well to keep the eyes strong. And so then we tried with first we had a lighter lip color, then we went a little more deeper and went brighter. Then
sure.
So it really, the water, through the transparency of the water, you see the red popping out really nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Bipasha Basu with Alone coming, and she's looking extremely glamorous in this.
Right.
So we are having this bikini avatar of Bipasha, and she just I think was flaunting it last night at your launch as well.
Right.
So something about this shoot, and where exactly was it shot with? Because I think in the backdrop you're having like a sea feel to it, right?
Sea and sky. Basically, we shot it in the studio, and I shot the sea and the sky separately, so that I could get the whole saturation of the blue. The whole idea was that we had an access to an outdoor location, but the you know, the skies in Bombay are not so blue. So I thought that, okay, why don't we do this indoor and kind of you know, add the sky in the post. So that's what we did for this particular picture. And yeah, and she's looking absolutely stunning. I shot the Alone campaign as well, and I shot with her for Jism years ago. So, and all her pictures have been mostly body pictures in my calendar. You know, she's a complete body person, and but this time, I mean, she said, you know, okay, you know, so should we try a big? I asked her, you know, so do something completely different, because we've done so many blacks, so many whites, black and white pictures. So she said, okay, you want to do all color? I said, yeah, okay. So then she worked, you know, with the stylist. Shamli was the stylist. We all put down together, okay, why don't we do something like this? And then we came up with these colors, and you know, a lot of stuff happened at the shoot as well. You know, we had different options of the sarong and the different fabrics and everything. So finally, again, it's a combination of great teamwork with the stylist, with the makeup, with the hair, with Bipasha, me, all put together.
Okay, now, you know, I've asked this earlier to you, and many people, I think, are of this opinion that the way you present your actors or actresses, it's very graceful actually. You know, it's never vulgar somehow. Even when you're having like a bikini shoot, it's like sensual.
But that's what even Bipasha said. You know, in the soundbite which you have the making, she says that, you know, I don't shoot bikini pictures. I only shoot bikini pictures with Dabboo because I can trust him. I know his aesthetics. I know the way he'll shoot it, and you know, the way he's going to present me is going to be absolutely brilliant. So that's the only reason why she has that confidence. To wear something like this and stand in front of people is not easy. You know, so I mean, today, if it's not lit up correctly, it's not directed correctly, it's not angled correctly, you know, all that stuff makes a really big difference. You can have the same, with the wrong lighting, the same outfit can look absolutely vulgar and look absolutely not complimentary in terms of body and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So obviously she trusts me, and the relation that we've shared for so many years, she's very, very comfortable, in the way she looks and the way she performs and the way she poses. So I think it's a great collaboration, because I mean, if she's not comfortable in a particular outfit, it's going to show in the pictures, but it doesn't show when she shoots with me. She was absolutely bindas while doing the shot. It's not that she felt any bit conscious. But when you have a body like that, I think it's good to feel that way.
Now, Hrithik Roshan, no one will believe that he's going to turn 41 this year, and I think he's in stunning, I think, physical shape. Yeah. And once again, I think that the choice of his T-shirt, I think, is interesting. Because of that tinge of red into it. Right. So, what was the planning in terms of what he's going to wear? Because many times I think he has appeared in like topless,
bare body pictures. Yeah. But with Hrithik, I'll be very honest. In this calendar, we went completely impromptu. We just didn't plan anything. We just I said, okay, let's shoot at this location where was this Tandan garage, and said, you come here, and Akshay, who was the stylist, brought in the clothes. We had an options of few outfits, and I said that we'll do a great shot there. So with Hrithik, it's not really that he again trusts me to great lengths. Sure. So he said, whatever you want. I mean, you tell me. I say, and anyway, our shots have always happened. Our calendar shots have always just happened. It's just been we just land up at the shoot, and things happen, and and we work together so much that we know exactly how we're going to proceed, and unless it's a really conceptual picture like the one in the water series when he fell into the water. When we go completely pre-planned and decided, okay, we're going to do this. So we had the props ready, we had everything ready. But when it's sometimes we just do the completely opposite, and we just do more impromptu and plan the shot. We have a great location, we have a great selection of clothes. And then you have Hrithik Roshan, which you can't go wrong with. So
right, absolutely.
And then you just make shots happen there.
Sure. Jacqueline Fernandez. The first image that comes to my mind is you jumping along with Jacqueline on because that's what the image that came out first. At the level of concept, I think it is one of the most notable pictures that I think you've ever clicked.
Really?
The way that her hair are, she's there in a towel, and she is mid-air somehow. What concept will you
it's one of my best, I would say. It's definitely in my top, I would say, for sure. I mean, it is a very appealing picture. It's very hot, yet it does not expose so much skin.
Absolutely.
Means, today if you wear shorts and a ganji, is as much skin that you would see in this.
Sure.
But just the thought of a towel, and a lot left to imagination. And she's jumping and the towel's flapping and all that. So, it just gives that little more sensual kind of raw appeal to it, So I think, and she's a super model. I mean, the way she posed, the way she jumped maybe hundreds of times on the bed, and then with my kids, and then with me, and then with Manisha and me. So we had like a cardio session happening there.
But the bed is intact?
The bed is intact, absolutely.
Okay,
so
now, in terms of symmetry as well, I think the moment that you've captured, her legs are like, say, in a way 90 degrees, and her hair are like on top. Right. So I think in terms of symmetry, I think it can't get more perfect than that.
Yeah, and also, I mean, other than directing her the way to jump, I have to also make sure that every time she jumps, I have to shoot the flash at exactly that same second, microsecond, not even second, because timing of the jump and the clicking of the shutter have to happen absolutely in sync, so that you get the right moment when she's in the right pose up there. Because that up and coming down, how fast that happens when you're on a trampoline or you're on a bed. Is that you can't stay up there. You have to go, and you're coming down really fast. So to freeze the motion again, like how we did with Alia with freezing the water.
Right.
Even with this required kind of a technical knowledge, because there are lots of lights which kind of blur also. The images get blurred if the light is not absolutely perfect the way it's done. So again, fast lenses, sync of jumping and clicking, all those things were put all together in this picture.
Right. And now Parineeti Chopra, once again, I think concept picture. Even last time around, you had a very interesting and in a way like a camouflage picture of hers when she was in that small wagon, and it seemed as if she's not wearing anything, but she is. Now even here she's in a, I think in a bathtub with this robe, and
it's a man's white shirt actually.
Yeah, and she's wearing this white shirt and the cigar somewhere, and the glasses as well. So something about the idea of this concept, and
I mean, you know, with Pari and me, we were again chatting and discussing what to do, because last year's picture in the wheelbarrow got us an insane reaction with Parineeti, as in no one had seen Parineeti like that. So last year's picture with Parineeti in the wheelbarrow gave us amazing reaction, you know. So it becomes the pressure how to outdo that picture, you know, because people have seen that and said, wow, she looks great, and you know, she's never been seen like that. So then it becomes that much more, you know, our responsibility to outdo that kind of picture. So we were chatting and said, what should we do this year, you know? And I think the white shirt is something that if you see Hollywood, you know, I mean, every single actress in Hollywood at some point has shot a picture in a man's white shirt.
Right.
You know, absolutely. I mean, it's a classic thing which you can. I myself have shot with so many actresses wearing a white shirt. You know, so it's not like in terms of the styling, we were trying to, you know, do a very stylized or a glamorous picture. We knew we wanted to do something basic, something. So this white shirt concept came, and then we thought, okay, we may add a tie. We had an option of a few hats as well. But then I said, why don't you just sit in the tub and just like chill, you know? And then I gave her my watch, which I'm even wearing right now, and made it like a white man shirt with a man's white watch and a cigar. Very masculine in those ways, and then very sexy in her, the way she's looking and the way she's
metaphor as well.
Yeah. So, and then also then the glasses. You know, we had an option of glasses, and also, you know, usually we see Pari with her hair always wild and open, you know. So when her hair was like this, I said, just leave it, don't open the hair now. You know, it was actually kept there thinking that, okay, we might open it in the shot, but I like the way it looked as it is. So I see a lot of input and a combination of our forces between the stylist, makeup and hair happen at the shoot as well. So it's good to always keep discussing and keep talking about it and take suggestions from everyone, because finally the picture has to look great, you know, who gave the suggestion and whether, you know, finally it's my name coming on it, you know. So we like to take like an opinion from everybody at the shoot. What should we do? I asked Manisha so many times, what do you think of this? You know, so she'll say, okay, I think this is working. So I'm not kind of got an ego trip with, you know, that I'm not going to listen to, say, instance from a hairdresser or from my assistant for that matter. You know, if my assistant says, sir, you think that one, I may say no, but always good to listen to a suggestion. I feel that you must give it a fair shot.
Absolutely. Kapoor. Once again, I think the choice is black and white, and you've also made him wear and white, which is and he's having like a slight bearded look. Drop is having that, I think that black and white in a way as well. The RK shot in RK studio.
No, we there was a set where it was wall where we put up Ranbir's study would be like, and that was the thought process. You know, and it's the whole RK wall behind him where we had records, we had posters from his films from his dad's, from his granddad, and from his chachas and everybody. So it was like a RK backdrop where this is what we shot against. So a little typewriter, a few of the old boxes. I think it adds that kind of vintage look to the whole thing.
Okay. Once again, when Ranbir is not looking at the camera, and he's having this as if he's thinking. Now, he's also, I think, one of the very few actors that we have that who's said to be like a method actor, and who gets into the character. You remember the character much more than maybe it is Ranbir Kapoor, which not too many actors can pull that off. So do you feel that it conveys that feel as well, that he's in like in a thoughtful mood and maybe thinking about a scene or anything of that sort?
He's a brilliant actor. I mean, there's no question about it. I honestly didn't give it so much thought. We did some pictures where looking into camera, we did some pictures which he was looking away, you know, and the mood was to look a bit full. That was the whole idea. So when he was looking into camera, he was looking at that little intrigue, little going on, running through the head kind of a vibe. But I just preferred the picture looking profile. That's why I chose this as the final image. So I sent him the picture and I said, I'm thinking of using this picture. and he's basically dad's whatever you want, you know. I mean, so he's just like, he's totally cool. He said, well, whichever picture you want, please just go ahead and use it. You don't even have to show it to me.
And Ranveer Singh, now he's one of the actors very unpredictable कि अब ये कौन सा कुछ ये कमाल करने वाले हैं. मतलब एक्टिंग के अलावा भी ये कमाल करते रहते हैं. So and he's extremely energetic and somewhere. Look at this picture. It's just conveying that that entire bike and that entire rugged feel to it in many ways, which he would personally be very keen on as well. For the choice of his clothes, who decided about that? Because I think that's in a way just contrasting with the entire.
Yeah, basically I just briefed him and Natasha, who's the stylist, that we want something very grungy. We want something like as destroyed, distressed pair of jeans that you have, and it could be you know, any gunji, could be a t-shirt, could be something like a sleeveless cut sleeves kind of a t-shirt as well. Grunge, something you know, not too bright, basically as desaturated as possible, so that it goes with that whole vibe of the garage. We created this kind of a mini set there, and we brought in all these items. That's a ramp of a car which he's lying down on. There's some old tires, so dried leaves, fire extinguisher, lots of wires, the retro bike, and a retro helmet as well. You know, so we kind of styled the whole shoot where it was a lot of these elements, and I was shooting from a crane which was like 30 feet, 35 feet above the ground.
Right.
Give that kind of a top angle and like a whole vast flooring. Usually we shoot always low angle and the actor looking up and high. This time I went up and they were down, so it became quite an interesting view from the top there.
What's the location?
It's again Tandon Garage. Also a friend of mine, Mr. Tandon, who is very kind enough to allow me to shoot there. But this is the last calendar which will be shot in Tandon Garage, because they're starting to construct a building in that space now. So
yeah, because I think even a few of your earlier calendar shoots you've done at Tandon Garage as
and
well.
with Ranveer, you know, this was the first time I worked with him. This is my first time we ever interacted at a photo shoot, you know, so it was interesting. It was like, he's, like you said, you know, he's got great energy, fully enthusiastic. You have to watch the making. I mean, the kind of stuff he talks and the kind of sound bites he gives, and he's insane.
He's a total entertainer.
Yeah, total entertainer. And after this, I've become a fan of his, because, you know, I mean, you know, once you get to know the person, you kind of connect with him much more. And I used to like his performances in movies, but I wasn't his fan. But after this photo shoot, I'm his fan.
Yeah, absolutely. He's effortless at that.
Fun, yeah.
He's effortless at that. Okay. What I find most interesting about this picture is that Shraddha still does not have that, in a way, that, you know, that sexy image to her. She's done this item song in Imran Hashmi's Only recently, but still, when you look at this, the entire backless look and the wavy hairs and the wind in them, and even the look somewhere, it's very different from what we've seen her before. First question will be that, do you feel that it can be in a way, it can give an image shift to Shraddha within the industry in a way as well?
Many of my calendar pictures in the past have given an image shift to many people. Right. One of them I can clearly remember is Vidya Balan, because the first time I shot with her many years ago, you know, people have only perceived her as an Indian beauty. Absolutely. You know, and then I took it to the next level. I said, you can look hot, you know. So
you always presented her.
Yeah, you know, all her calendar pictures. So she said, really, you think I can pull this off? I said, for sure. I don't think, I know you can pull it off with Vidya. And same thing with Shraddha, you know, and the first time she's featured in my calendar, and you know, and she's got a great body, you know, and I've seen her in Indian clothes where you can, you know, in a sari itself, you can see, you know, the way her body looks in terms of her back, in terms of, so I thought of shooting with her as a back shot from the beginning. When I decided about the calendar shot, I said that, you know, we always do sexy pictures, but someone who has a great back, we must do a back shot, you know, and that was my thought process where I started conceptualizing her picture. So I gave her some ideas. We, you know, I said, okay, this is what I have in mind, and she was great. She was very happy with the ideas and try it, you know. So I think I hope it changes her image. I hope, because I think looks really fabulous, and I think she's got a great face. She's very emotive, and she's very and great energy to work, you know, very hard working, very professional. I think she's going to go a long way.
Absolutely. And once again, black and white
Like I told you, it's just a phase of mine.
Jake Villain, he's had this I think entire image shift from Student of the Year and Hasi To Phasi. A very intense actor and a very unassuming and simple guy. How was the experience of because once again it seems like a scene out of a movie. In a way it seems like a movie.
It's a candid, it's a very candid moment.
And
we decided to go like a profile picture. Last year it was more straight body, lot of body, lot of skin. Very tough picture. So this time we decided to go more moody with the picture, not looking into camera, looking away, and especially because he had a beard for Brothers, where he's shooting right now. So look was already there. So we added the tattoos. There's a tattoo of a key on his face as well. We got this leather kind of a waistcoat for him. Kept it very simple in terms of styling, just like this, like almost a moment captured, just sitting in the corner, just expression and in that particular character. That's all we wanted from the picture. We didn't want him to try hard and try and overpose, like trying too hard. We wanted a little more subtle, moody picture to the whole thing. In terms of lighting, there's no lights used. It's just normal ambient light. There was no reflectors, nothing used, and just one white fabric just to give a little hint to the highlight to the eyes. That's about it. And otherwise we just shot it in like 4 minutes quickly, and at a location which we did not have permission to shoot in, so we had to quickly go in and go out before anybody caught us there.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, Sinha, now a contemporary picture, because it can also be called like a selfie picture in a way.
It's more I'd say it's more like a photo booth kind of a picture. And in the days we used to shoot film, or digital came in, we used to have a contact sheet basically, which used to have all the 36 pictures in one picture, in one sheet. So that's the kind of where this whole process started from. I've done this kind of a thing with John before.
Priyanka as well?
No, only John has done this with me.
Priyanka, when she took that pictures in last year's
calendar. But it was not this kind of a format where we had 16 pictures, like a photo booth kind of a like a photo booth kind of a concept. So it's like almost like
those images in her hands, I believe.
Yeah, Polaroids.
Polaroids, yes.
And with her, this thing is like as if the camera has been placed on a tripod and she's clicking and kept it on a self click and going tuck 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 tuck, that kind of a photo booth kind of like how you walk into a passport photo studio in when you go abroad, so you get your own pictures. There's that kind of a photo booth kind of a concept.
Once again black and white.
And you've also chosen all black and white. I think you're also going through a phase of black and white.
Dhawan, I think he's a most interesting actors that we have right now, and once again black and white, and he is wearing a black as well, and I think it goes perfectly with his entire Badlapur feel to it as well.
In fact, this was shot on the station of Badlapur set. So I added the drama of the leaves and the the dried leaves flying around and the lighting and the way we've shot it. So we had access to that location luckily, and so the railway tracks and the the light behind, like almost like a train approaching behind him, and these dried leaves flying around like a stormy night. And we shot in the night. This picture was shot in the middle of the night actually. And the whole drama of it really works beautifully. I think the way the lighting is, side light, one light from the back, the flare coming up.
What is the importance of backlight? Like how can a backlight give a entire new dimension or personality to any picture?
Backlight works for certain faces and doesn't work for certain faces, and also depends on the hairstyle that you have, so when we do a lighting for backlight, it has to be, there are various ways of backlighting. You can do a soft backlight, you can do a hard backlight, you can do a flary backlight, you can do a backlight which is very close to your subject, you can do a backlight which is very far from the subject. The kind of light modifier that you use to create the backlight. So about photography, there are so many, and it's completely, and there's nothing wrong. It's different styles. It's certain styles suit certain hairstyles, certain silhouettes, and some people look just better without any backlight. So it depends on who you're shooting. You have to have that visual in your head, what you want to create. That's when you decide your lighting.
Absolutely. Khan, entire, I think, 8-pack phenomenon that he has created for Happy New Year, and the entire boxer feel to it. No one will believe that he's this year he'll turn 50, and I think he's one of the most regular celebrities on your calendar.
Absolutely.
And I think he takes it very seriously.
Absolutely.
Everything that he does, he takes it very seriously. He doesn't take anything lightly. He doesn't take anything lightly.
Yeah, Shah Rukh always gives in 100% to whatever he's doing.
Absolutely. Even during interviews, like he's totally there.
Totally there. Yeah. Absolutely. So I think this was shot a couple of months ago when we were shooting some stuff for Happy New Year. He said that एक shot कर लेते हैं calendar के लिए अभी, because we don't know in November, December how my body would be. You know, because things are hectic, I'll be starting shooting for another film. So that's when we decided that, okay, we're going to do the calendar shot early. So Shah Rukh was the first person to shoot this year. Usually he's always been the last one all these years. But this was Shah Rukh was the first picture. So earlier in the year only, we knew that this is going to be our calendar shot. You know, so we did a couple of extra poses and pictures and extra shots for the calendar while we were shooting some stuff for Happy New Year as well. Yeah.
That it can be one of the most memorable pictures as far as your calendar is concerned.
I think, yeah, you know, with Shah Rukh, I think all these pictures have always been a great, very memorable, and Shah Rukh fans are hardcore. I mean,
absolutely,
you know, they are like,
and especially like overseas, so it's like,
and then like even on the social network, I mean, people just want to see Shah Rukh Khan's picture. You know, it's like, and also I've been so close to him. Our association has been so, they just relate. Like on Twitter, I get messages from people saying, "Please tell Shah Rukh this. Please tell Shah Rukh," as if he's like I'm his messenger. You know, that he don't listen to everything I say. Please tell him to do this. Please tell him to do that. I get messages for like Shah Rukh Khan. I get fan mail letters in my house. Please give this to Shah Rukh Khan. So there's been like a connection of, I think also because he comes for every calendar launch of mine.
Exactly.
And last night he came and he saw the picture. He says, "I'm going back and working out right now." He got so inspired by his own picture that he said, "Okay, I want to get back into this shape." You know, so I think this picture reminds me a bit of Rocky, Rambo, in that zone, you know, and that kind of pose, that attitude. And we did some Twitter mirror pictures last night, both of us posing with our hands together, like as if we were holding fists and doing the same pose and everything. So he's always great fun to work with. I think Shah Rukh's got great energy. He's great fun to be with. He's very intelligent. You can have conversation about coffee to cars to technology to music. I mean, we really connect on another level.
Very good listener as well.
Absolutely.
He's like 100% person listener. Many times people don't, they're too preoccupied to listen to other people, but he is a very good listener, which is, I think, a beautiful quality. Once again, backlight, and I think it's giving a very interesting, I think, dimension to the entire picture, especially because it's a black and white in a way as well.
You know, and this is a very few rare times that I've used backlight on Shah Rukh. So like I keep trying to experiment. You know, it was the same actor, you know, and this shot was done at 3 a.m. in the morning.
That's his best time.
And so patient, waiting for me to try my lighting, try this backdrop, try this, try backlight, try front light, top light, everything. He stands there. I said, take 5 minutes. Yeah, no problem. You know, I mean, superstars like this, I mean, the kids of today should learn from people like these.
Alright, so it was wonderful to have you back, Dabboo, and I think so many things that we have learned today, all of us in fact. I'm sure that people watching this will be like a fascinating experience for them, the entire, I think, so many stories that you come up with always. I still remember all the stories that you've told about just being the first ones to come in touch with Salman and his family and Arbaz, and so many other stories that you've mentioned to us down the years. We genuinely hope that already the response to the calendar has been stupendous, and I hope that in this age of social media, I hope that these pictures will be remembered, I think, for a long time, and they'll reach the farthest corners of the world.
I hope so. Thank you so much for
they'll reach the farthest corner of the world, and all the best wishes, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching. Hi, this is Faridoon Shahryar. For the most interesting celebrity interviews, do subscribe to Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.